What's up, Canes fam? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Miami Knights podcast. You can listen to this podcast anywhere you're listening to it now, obviously. You can listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever platform is out there. You can also watch us on YouTube and, give us a follow on X. And we got a good show for you today. It's just Curt and I. Jimmy is still flying home from New York, so he is not able to make this show, but Curt and I dive into this game. Curt's got the aftermath report. Then we get into our Storm Awards, and we look forward a little bit to Ohio State, talk about the Hurricane for that, and we close, of course, with Lock of the Week and Best of X. We talk all things about the huge win against Texas A&M, what it means for this program, and look forward to the Cotton Bowl versus the Ohio State Buckeyes. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy this episode, and have a good day.
I'm hurt, dog. Don't ask me if I'm all right. Hell no. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
Still from the three. Streaks across the 40. He might be gone. It's up.
Desmond to the right. Oh,
They got blockers. They got blockers. They've got a lane.
into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. Darrell Langham with the grab.
Stars intercepted. Oh, look out. Trajan Bandy, the true freshman. We got them shooting again. Because when the U is on and the U brings it, there's nothing like it. We got to get this. And it's going to take everybody.
What's up, Canes fam? It is Monday, December 22nd, and your Miami Hurricanes just had their biggest win in 23 years, 24 years, actually, as they defeated the Texas A&M Aggies 10-3 at Texas A&M, first round of the college football playoff. We're going to the Cotton Bowl. I'm here with Curt. We don't have Jimmy this week. Curt, how are we feeling?
Well, it's Victory Monday. This
Monday.
is the best Victory Monday, and you said
Miami
it.
Knights podcast history.
You said it. That's for sure. Missing Jimmy, definitely. Yeah. But my message to Canes fans this week: the style points portion of the season is over.
Thank God.
It's win in advance. This is the playoffs. It's do or die, and we're moving on. That's all that matters, Joe.
That is all that matters, my friend. Jimmy was in New York City with me this weekend. We were able to watch the game together, and I'm very glad he was there. It would have been torture to watch that game all by myself with not a soul around. Curt, looked like you had the baby in your arms during the game.
Yeah.
Make it a little extra special. Baby, it's kind of like us. We were very young when we experienced our big-time hurricane moments. And
That's right.
Yeah, and now baby Lavender is experiencing the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah,
It was cool.
beautiful.
It was cool. We had fam. We were here at the house, and she wasn't in my arms the whole game. I was full Michael Irvin for some portions of the game on all fours.
Yeah,
but mostly I sat during halftime, but yeah, pretty much just pacing around and some shirts overhead, but not much of that either. It was but the nerves, the heart rate was high. As it got closer to kickoff, I was like, all right, now it's getting real that this is here. And to see that atmosphere and the pregame stuff, it was just so cool. And once the game got kicked off, it was awesome. But
man,
that was it was nerve-wracking until the end.
Once the game kicked off, all of the "I'm just happy to be here" talk went straight out the window. It was, and then we'll get into it. We'll get into the awards, all that good stuff. But it was one of those games that. The game was insane. I almost got concussed during the game. There was a lot of concussions in this game. And during Malachi Toney's punt return, I completely slipped on my carpet. Socks slipped on the carpet, feet went out from under me as I was trying to cheer, and I slammed my head onto the hardwood. And Jimmy's cheering. I'm almost just knocked out on the ground. It was just one of those games. I mean, bruised, battered, but you came out on top.
That's right. I'll tell you one thing I did for the first time in between the whistles from the opening kick to halftime, and then the opening kick of the second half to the end of the game. My phone was not in my hand one time. I sent a few texts at halftime. I texted you guys. I texted your dad. I texted my dad and a couple members from the club. I saw texting me, that the score was 0-0. But once in between the whistles and in between the halves, I didn't use my phone at all. And I got to say, I would highly recommend.
Yeah, I think, I've been trying to do that too. Phone face down, away from me, just fully into the game. And for those that don't know, Curt was running a little special at his golf course. Curt, what was the special? So why were people mad about the 0-0 score?
Yeah, so going into the game, it's like, cool sales idea, stir up some excitement. With the membership and get everyone a little more locked into the game, doing however many points the Canes score in the game, it was going to be the sale number for the golf shop. And, my director of golf was a little nervous about it. And I was feeling like, listen, I was like, we're not going to score 60 points, right. I'm not going to put the place out of business. But it swung the opposite direction, and guys, like after I looking at my phone after the game, when Carter Davis did eventually make a field goal in the third quarter, it was like 3%. Wow, and it was fun. Everyone was
10% that's a legit discount. 3% would have been
that's brutal.
A little embarrassing.
Yeah. Having to ring up 3% all day long, it almost would have been like
the math would be excruciating to do. Okay, let's get into it. Curt, you got the aftermath report. Let's hear it, and then we'll break this game down.
All right. It was 100 versus 100,000 as your Miami Hurricanes traveled to College Station for their first ever college football playoff game. It quickly felt like we were watching the game of the century, a la 2011 LSU Bama, as these two defenses were absolute nails. I was looking for Jim Cantore's glistening dome on the sidelines because it looked like a Cat 1 hurricane. Folks, it's howling down here, and you can see the flag starting to bend under this intense wind. Carter Davis attempts a kick. It falls off the face of the earth with that big wind gust. Thanks for the update, Jim. Back to the action on the field. The Miami offense could have been mistaken for Lee Westwood's PGA Tour career as they kept getting close but just couldn't find the end zone. At the half, the scoreboard looked like Dr. T.J. Eccleberg's billboard from The Great Gatsby, 00. Reuben Bain said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do," and proceeded to have Trey Zune and the entire A&M O-line in a storm surge of epic proportions. Let's go back to Jim Cantore. Guys, this storm has made landfall, and the storm surge is wrecking A&M's line of scrimmage. It's too much to handle, wave after wave, just crashing through the storm wall. Marcel Reed's going to have to seek shelter, or he's in danger of taking on catastrophic damage. It felt like the momentum was shifting the wrong way when Malachi Toney fumbled the ball trying to make a play in the fourth quarter. But the defense channeled Tom Petty and stood their ground. They won't back down. The final offensive possession was one that surely satisfied Mario Cristobal to his core as our offensive line came out seeing red. The trench bullies mauled the best defensive line in the mighty SEC, and Mark Fletcher stumbled, rumbled, bumbled his way. There he goes! It was a Christmas miracle as baby Jesus arrived just in time to atone for his sins, and a heavenly host of Canes fans at Kyle Field sang his praises. Oh, come, let us adore him. But should he have gone down, A&M comes back with plenty of time, and oh, I was hoping it'd be a ref show. Marcel Reed makes his best play of the day by flopping into a 15-yard penalty that crosses them over midfield. But Corey Heatherman's band of brothers dug their heels in. Mo Touré makes the ultimate sacrifice, breaking up a pass on the goal line that had me thinking he was Tua Tagovailoa for a second. The trainers let him jog off the field, looking like a newborn baby deer. Finally, it was the moment of truth. Bryce Fitzgerald says, "I had a dream," and jumps a Marcel Reed pass in the back of the end zone. I swear I saw Michael Irvin on all fours barking into Lassie's face like he was a rabid dog. Joe Zagacki and Don Bailey Jr. threw their military fatigues at the feet of our fearless leader, and Andre Johnson proudly announces what we already know: the U is back. I'll channel Ryan Day. "Where is Lou Holtz?" "Sorry to the Fighting Irish, and especially Jeremiah Love, but that's twice that we have shoved you into a locker." Kiss your lovers and eat your wings. The Canes are going to the Cotton Bowl for a brawl of a date with the Buckeyes.
Wow. Terrific. Man, we met a lot of people there. Jim Cantore.
That's right.
The Lou Holtz impression's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, that is. How often do you practice that one? Beautiful.
Didn't practice it. The only thing I did was Google search to make sure he was still alive.
He was still.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't.
Yeah.
Desecrating the dead.
That's a good call, and our listeners can rest assured he's still alive. Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you, Curt, for the aftermath report. Let's start unpacking that. Yeah, the baby Jesus. That was baby Jesus atoning for his sins. Beautiful. I don't even know where to begin with this game. I think we're going to get into the Storm Awards, but I think the main point that, and you made it in this aftermath report, and I want to hammer home how this game ended with the way that Mario Cristobal has built this team. And Alex Mirabal told the offense and told everyone, we are going to ride Mark Fletcher on this drive. We are going to run the ball. Offensive line knew their assignment. They opened up the hole. Mark Fletcher simply told them, get hat on hats, give me a lane, and I'm going to hit it and go. Mm-hmm. And that's what we saw in that last drive. And it was just methodical. It was beautiful. And then to have an unbelievable call at the end with the jet sweep to Malachi Toney at a time where it's like during the whole game, I felt like you could see the running game, the ability to run the ball was there from the jump. And we were trying to kind of, and not to anybody's fault, like force feed Malachi Toney because he's the one that's gotten us here. Mm-hmm. We were trying to get him the ball no matter what, which made that last play even more special. Where it's like, it was I wasn't even expecting that. Even though all game we have seen us trying to get Malachi Toney the ball, everyone thought that thing was going to Fletcher. Mm-hmm. Malachi Toney comes back, jet sweep, scores.
Yep,
it was incredible.
It was awesome. I swear I go back and forth every game. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but it's like there are segments of every game where I'm like, Shannon Dawson is this unbelievable mastermind offensive coordinator. And we've said it before on here, his trick plays are, to me, it's just simply, it's like a guy on acid that's like, how can I get our best players the ball? What's the funkiest thing I can do? It's like, it's not, just doesn't feel like a gimmicky trick play. It's like he's trying to think of creative ways to get guys the ball. And then there's times where it's just, I wasn't impressed with our play action passing in this game. I thought the play action game could have opened up, but I didn't see mesh routes and I didn't see post routes. I just didn't see deep digs, like guys finding holes in the zone. I didn't see any of that. So that was the battle, right? And but then it that's the crescendo, is like the last play call, that jet sweep to motion Malachi across and then back and get him the ball, like with power blocking on the outside. It was special. And I thought our zone running game, I mean, Mark Fletcher was my eye of the hurricane coming in, and that was the guy that I specifically highlighted, and it was just awesome to see him explode. I'm with you. In the first half, it was there. Like, that was, my brother was texting me and was big, like, we got to run the ball more. And we just ran into trouble. Too many 3rd and longs, too many 2nd and longs. We weren't gaining yards on first down. It was just weird, the flow of it. But the run game was there. And to see us stick with it and run zone, I mean, the zone blocking was awesome. It was just, it was fantastic. It was awesome. And I completely agree. The game could not have ended in a more perfect fashion, in a more perfect Mario Cristobal. You know, his stamp, his seal, his identity was on the entire game, but the last possession specifically, that was like, that's Mario Cristobal's Miami.
Yeah. And think about the way that it ended with Malachi Toney scoring on offense and then a Bryce Fitzgerald interception on defense, 2 freshmen making the final plays. It's crazy. I was talking to my brother-in-law after the game. He played at Clemson. He's now coaching at Kansas State. And he told me, he goes, it is really cool with Miami that a lot of the guys making plays are just Miami guys. It's old school, and it is. It's like, these are the people that made, and we'll probably get into these guys in the Storm Awards, but the people that are making big plays in the biggest stage were guys that we recruited, were guys that committed to us when Miami was down and out. And then you see the transfer guys that have just quickly adopted the culture of this team. Even the stupid stuff we've mentioned on this show of how many of our transfer guys, when they make a play, throw up the U. Like, it's stuff like that is, it might be small and it might just seem like, why does that matter? But it's just the way that this team has bought in, and it's just evident. And so you see people from the outside noticing it too. Like, there's just something special about this team. And Curt, we just went in to 810,000 people, and we didn't flinch. Like Mario Cristobal says, we don't flinch.
Yep.
We didn't have a single false start on offense, and it was just, nobody was phased. The moment wasn't too big for anybody.
Nope.
And we went out there in just one of the grittiest wins, just a defensive gem, and got it done. I still can't believe it.
In our against all of our legit opponents in our biggest games this season, we have gone toe-to-toe. I think we have been the better team. Notre Dame and Texas A&M say our two biggest opponents, best opponents that we've faced this year. 8 quarters of football, we have been the better team, in my opinion, for 8 quarters. Maybe 6. I think 8 quarters we have been the better team. It was the same. It was less scoring, but it was the same feel of like, we're in control.
Right.
And
we were more
we
physical.
Were physical at the line of scrimmage. That's the best line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball, that the SEC has to offer. And Miami dominated them. Dominated them. We went to the number one venue.
And Mike
in the
Elko
SEC.
admitted it. He admitted it at the end.
Yeah.
He said, they just, by the end of the game, we couldn't protect our quarterback. They were just getting after it.
Both sides worn down. Nick Saban said that's his number one atmosphere, in college football. Yeah. It was, they embody Mario Cristobal, bro. And Mark Fletcher, CeCe Maui Noah, Ruben Bain, Malachi Toney, Bryce Fitzgerald. Okay. These are, with the exception of CeCe Maui Noah, these are Miami bred, born, raised, recruited, committed, signed. They're Miami through and through. They're guys who have, and with CeCe, guys who have paid their dues. They're responsible. When that's the blend. This is what Florida State out to Norvell's, that perfect storm year in 2023. But this is when you blend, like, you have a culture and you have your guys who are at the core, who are the Miami guys through and through. And then you backfill with the portal and plug holes, you know, and you hit on these guys. It's like that's the sweet spot, and that's what we've found, you know. But it's just, I mean, so happy for those Besainth. I mean, these are Miami guys through and through who have been Ahmad Moten, Inez Cooper, guys who have been overlooked, but that we ultimately kept home and that we hit on. And it was unbelievable. But 10-3, whatever you might have thought of how ugly it was or wasn't, I mean, that's, and we don't like to do the coulda, woulda, shoulda thing, but it was just like, it could have been 20-0 at halftime. You know, that we had so many chances knocking on the door and just couldn't get it through. And, you know, the kicking game was severely affected by the wind, but that affects the quarterback too. And
it does.
I've always, I would, any day of the week, I'd rather quarterback a game in the rain than in the wind, because any pass that you've got to get in the air under 10, you know, over 10 yards, it starts to mess with you, you know, and it's difficult to judge. And it was obviously swirling in the stadium, but, you know, just what an incredible, it was a dominating performance.
And in the same breadth of the fact that we were clearly prepared, we have now, Mario Cristobal in every big game and every big atmosphere has had this team prepared. Kudos to the coaching staff, to the players for all the preparation. And at the same time, too, Carson Beck didn't throw an interception. So it was windy. It was difficult to throw the ball. He did not have his best game. But at the end of the day, he did not make any mistakes. And I have lost Curt. It now says, heads up, Curt's recording will continue on a new track. Started a new recording for Curt due to a change in their devices. We got him back. That it will be Jimmy's problem to deal with. But yeah, Carson Beck did not throw an interception. Marcel Reed made all of the mistakes. And that's just how you win these types of games. We talked about it going in this kind of environment, that it did favor Miami with the way that we win the turnover battle. And it proved true once again. Even though we didn't get points off these turnovers, it's still just the way we were able to take away points because of them. And I just couldn't, like, this is now, dating back to last year, we've now gone to the two toughest SEC venues, at Florida, at Texas A&M, and we've been the more dominating team, the more prepared team, the team that didn't flinch. And it's just like, that's the stuff that really excites me. So no matter how, like, the score might look or just different things that happened, it's just the fact that we went into that kind of atmosphere and looked the way we did, just like we belonged there, and we come out with the win. Like, that's what I was trying to tell Jimmy during the game. It's like, man, it doesn't matter what this looks like. Like, he asked me, and Jimmy's landing late tonight back in Florida, so that's why he can't be on the show. But he asked me, he's like, how do we feel if we win, when we win this game 10-3? And I said, you feel unbelievable, and you feel like you're playing Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. It's just win. Like, Texas A&M's a good football team, and that's a crazy atmosphere. You just got to find a way to win a game like that, and that's what we did. I
think we should feel great. I think it's the playoffs now. It's like, to go into that on the road and to slug it out like that and not be able to put them away. They're hanging around. That, I feel like the pressure's on Miami. The later that game goes, you expect Miami to crumble because we haven't been there before. Right. We're on the road. We feel like we've blown our opportunities. Our best player just fumbled the ball. He's crying on the sideline. You know, it's like,
they have the ball at the 50 now with 7 minutes left.
They have the ball at the 50, and then that's the best defensive stop. Those 5 plays for 12 yards.
Yes.
Okay. That's the best defensive stand in 24 years. And then Texas A&M punts the ball, and Malachi is itching to make up for his play. Okay, so he presses and runs the ball. Shouldn't have. So now we've got to go 86 yards, and it's just that's Miami answers the bell. time after time.
Yes.
How do you not feel good about that?
I know. And I think, and Jimmy will call me when he's listening back to this and be like, no, I just not what I meant. And in his defense, he was saying this at halftime. I know he feels great about it now.
Mm-hmm.
And when Miami gets the ball back there, after the great defensive stop, and now we're in terrible field position with how much time was left? Like
4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think.
Just around 5 minutes. And now you're in dangerous territory because it's like if we go 3 and out there and have to punt the ball back, they're pretty much in field goal range, be able to run out the clock and win the game.
Yep.
And then Mark Fletcher just takes over. It was unbelievable.
Beast mode. Run.
Gosh, absolute beast mode run. Before we get into Storm Awards on this game, I do want to ask you, you mentioned this in your Aftermath report too, whether or not Malachi Toney should have scored that touchdown. It seemed like when the play happened that number 8 for Texas A&M, I'm blanking on his name, he took the angle to make the tackle. He was trying to make the play. Once he saw that Malachi Toney had a first down, he didn't really care to push him out of bounds. I still think you got to score. The way that the kicking game had gone that game, I think you got to score that football.
I mean, I can't be too hard on him either way. I think when you factor in the emotion and that the redemption aspect, I think is going to go a long way for him still going into the Ohio State game. I think the fact, because that was what he talked about on the field in his post-game interview, immediately following the game with ESPN, was the confidence it gave him that the coaches called his number there. And I think that the excitement, and it's like when no one scored a touchdown and your defense has been that good, I can understand you just being like, they've got to go 80 yards or 75 yards to score on us. Right. I totally understand that aspect because we've seen teams fumble a snap trying to run the clock out.
We did it week 1 against Notre Dame.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm with you. If we end up on the right hash, could Carter Davis yank that kick off the planet? Sure. I was nervous for the extra point. So it might be hypocritical, but ideally, I think it's worth a discussion, and I think it's worth bringing it up and saying, listen, if he does go down at the 1, we can. It's something that we could put it away, but yeah, I guess I'm sort of a fence sitter, but it's like I can't be hard on him either way, and ultimately, I mean, I can't fault him or the coaching staff if that wasn't like a point of emphasis, because the priority at the end of the day is like none of it matters if we don't score. So that is the top priority.
Yeah. And knowing this coaching staff, knowing Malachi Toney, I think our coaching staff made the decision to score. I don't think it's something that they're like, if you get the first down, go down. It's also so hard in that position to like even know you got the first down because it's so close. It was like a 3-yard difference or something. So totally good with it.
Or
the way our defense
coming around the side.
Yeah. But number 8 on Texas A&M definitely saw that he had the first down. It was just like, I think Texas A&M on their side was like, if they get the first down, let them score. But it was beautiful, just beautiful redemption. And you could not script it any better than that.
That was awesome.
You know what? On that fumble he had, that was gonna be one of the best plays ever.
I think so too.
He wasn't gonna be tackled.
I know,
which just makes it even harder. Like
it could have been. I thought that in the moment when they showed the replay of it, just the way that he was bouncing off and picking, it was like a slingshot, and it was like, oh my gosh, I think he might have been gone.
Yeah,
but listen, was that the first fumble we've lost all season? Is that what they said?
Second fumble. Yep. Yeah. But Marty Brown had one against.
Oh yes,
Syracuse.
Syracuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. At midfield. But no, I'm again like I think that the feeling of this game is there's no need for any discussion of like concern about Miami. That is the best defense the SEC has to offer. It's the best defensive line. It's one of the best D lines in the country. Okay, Texas A&M is this is a team that. I mean, again, just the whole atmosphere. I think people have forgotten what high-level defensive play. We're in the area of offense, right? And I think people have forgotten what high-level defensive play is. And it's like, oh, that game. I see most of the college football purists
deserve to be in.
Yeah, and I think the college football guys have all been defending it and defending Miami and saying like this was an awesome game.
Because if you actually watch it, it was not offenses making tons of mistakes. It was absolute stifling defenses. Mm-hmm. Like it was clear as day. Yeah. It was. I just couldn't believe. I mean, I could believe it. We knew the defense was the strong point, but just from a year ago, where this now this defense is just going toe to toe with the best defense in the SEC and outperforms them. It's unbelievable.
Heatherman's got to win the Broyles Award, doesn't he? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, has to. Okay, let's get into some Storm Awards, starting with your Hurricane of the game. Who, in your mind, was the absolute star of this game?
I think good problem to have. There's a lot of guys. I've had to really talk myself through this. And be a little more decisive and conscious of my decision here. And I'm just landing on the man who made his return in this game, the man from Auburn, Keontae Scott, with an Ed Reed style performance in the biggest game of his career.
Yep.
I mean, you talk 10, he led the team in tackles with 10 total tackles, 5 solos, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for a loss, and that includes a sack fumble. He was a game breaker, a game breaker from the safety position. I have not seen a complete sideline to sideline, hash to hash, top to bottom. I have not seen a safety performance like this in a Miami uniform since Ed Reed.
Yeah.
I mean, this was absolutely incredible. Keontae Scott.
Dude, his ability to make open field tackles, it is just unbelievable. Especially in a game where our corners, Damari Brown was out. Mm-hmm. Our corners, like Xavier Lucas, he stepped up. OJ Frederick struggled a little bit, but both of them had a few missed tackles on the ends. To have someone like Keontae Scott back for us to make some of these big plays, it made all the world's difference. He was huge. Yeah, unbelievable. I gotta go with Mr. Mark Fletcher Jr. and just a guy that he ended up coming to Miami to be able to perform and play in front of his family, and what he's been through the last year with his dad dying, and just the way that he's a true Kane, he's a true team player, the way that he went over when Malachi Toney fumbled it, the way that he kind of got Malachi Toney back in the right headspace, and then on his own, just what he did on these runs, full credit to the offensive line opening up giant holes, but Mark Fletcher, his vision this game was off the charts, and you could tell that this man was healthy again with some of the speed that he was running the football. And yeah, Tyreek Hill tweeted it out during the game that Mark Fletcher's got great feet. Could take that one way or another. Not sure what he was talking about, but I agree. Mark Fletcher has great feet. The guy's hard to tackle, and he just looked really good. And then he ended up 172 yards on 17 carries. That is averaging, he had 7 runs that went for at least 10 yards and averaged just under 7 per carry after contact. So he was great. And, he did pretty good in pass protection, too. Texas A&M was sending a bunch of exotic blitzes, and he had to pick up a lot. He only allowed 1 sack. So
I thought he was
Mark
very
Fletcher,
good at pass
have a game.
Yep. Yeah, that's all. I mean, we couldn't get other backs on the field. I mean, I didn't see Marty Brown on the field. Pringle had a couple snaps.
I know. It was just one of those games where it's like, this guy, he's out of this world. We got to keep feeding him.
He was absolutely possessed. They talked about him during the broadcast, and Canes fans, we know this. We've been hearing about this actually for years, but that he recruits other running backs to come to Miami.
Yeah.
He recruited Marty Brown. He recruited Jordan Lyle, recruited Pringle as well. And he's a leader. This is a guy, he's been playing since he was a true freshman at Miami. And
I can't believe he's only a junior.
I know. He's like, you know, we've been really blessed to have some running. I mean, even guys like Mark Walton, you know, we've had some running backs who are just like, he's
Duke
a Cane.
Johnson.
And Duke Johnson. That was the one I was going to get to, is like, we wish Duke Johnson could have been on a good team. Mm-hmm. And that's like Mark Fletcher is like, he's getting to soak this up and live out this, you know, he's finally a part of a good team. He's just a Miami guy through and through. I mean, American Heritage High School, played with Malachi Toney. Yeah. They're with a number of other guys on this team, but just what an awesome, and his mom was there in the stands, and just awesome, really cool, awesome performance.
Yep. All right. Tropical storm of the week. So, I mean, there's so many people balled out.
We're going to miss a lot of guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the two of us. So,
we'll
probably cover everyone eventually.
Yeah, we can give a lot of honorable mentions.
Yep.
But runner-up to the hurricane of the week, tropical storm of the week.
Yeah.
Who you got?
I'm going to have to go with Hurricane Bane himself.
Mr. Hurricane Bane.
The man.
Get that jersey.
You know, I think I've figured out with this team that Mario Cristobal has given them the green light to show it on the field first and talk afterwards.
Yes.
Right? That looks like what
they can say whatever they want after.
Whatever after the game,
true.
after you handle your business, whatever.
Yeah.
And I personally love it. I like the subscribing to that philosophy. I think it works well. It keeps the guys locked in and keeps us off of the other teams' bulletin boards, right? Yep. But we certainly got a lot of bulletin board material this week.
Yes.
And Ruben Bain was a monster, and we have talked all season long about how brutal it's been. If you box score watch Ruben Bain, you're like, this guy, what's all the talk around this guy, right? And then the talk has started to pick up this week that he has short arms, and people in the pro circles, I don't know. And he comes out against one of the best offensive lines in the country. And Trey Zune is a good left tackle. Yeah. And absolutely dominates. It was an iconic, this is going to be a historic performance by Ruben Bain. 4 sacks, 4 tackles for a loss, ultimately. And he was all over Marcel Reed. I mean, he and Mesidor both were just fantastic, but this was like the Ruben Bain game, and he just took over, and he was absolutely possessed in the run game. He does it all. He's unbelievable in the run game. Really, like he made so many good plays, and just it was awesome. Just thrilled to see. That was on everyone's radar. Is the Ruben Bain notebook, and how is he going to respond? And absolute masterclass from Hurricane Bain.
And he followed up today with it was either yesterday or today with a tweet just saying, God bless him. He blessed them again. Before and after the game, God bless them. You know what? It's only fitting. if you're going Ruben Bain, I am just going to go Akeem Mesidor for my Tropical Storm of the Week, Tropical Storm Player of the Week. It's been like this all season. The Bain Mesidor duo, Akeem Mesidor has he has been able to take advantage of the attention that Ruben Bain requires, and if you try just one-on-one with Mesidor, he will eat you alive. He had 5 tackles, 1.5 sacks. He had 11 quarterback pressures. I mean, just literally every single play, it seemed like he was getting after Marcel Reed, and it really affected Reed with his throws down the field and being under pressure. And you know what? Our defensive line, and credit Heatherman for this game plan, and credit the line for the composure to make this happen. Their ability to, we saw in the first couple drives, Marcel Reed kind of taking off with his legs, but once they settled in, their ability to keep him in the pocket and not over pursue it was a masterclass, and force him to throw the ball, and he ended up throwing a couple picks because of it. So I thought especially in that goal-to-go situation, just taking away him being able to scramble for a score, making him throw the ball, and ended up with the game-winning interception. So I just thought Akeem Mesidor all season, he's been doing this, and the guy's going to get picked right after Ruben Bain in the first round, and he's an absolute beast. Man, our defensive line, just nasty. Our buddy Blay had one of his iconic jump encroachments, but you know what? That's just who he is. You accept it. Yeah. He's a great player. You accept it and move on. And it's always an absolute back-breaking third downs when he does it, but
and he's always
that's okay.
He can't believe it. He's like again.
Whoa. Yeah. Even though Jason Taylor on every single play is just screaming at them to watch the ball. But
he lines up over the ball every single time. And he does this.
He's literally looking at the ball, and he still does it. But our whole line there, Texas A&M, they're doing a lot of, a lot of different kind of snap counts and trying to draw us off, and it's just the composure all around on this team. It was just such a beautiful, refreshing thing to see from Miami, just not having the boneheaded mistakes, and it really has been cleaned up since SMU game. SMU, as bad as the refs were, it was just a lot of boneheaded mistakes, and we did not have that this game.
Yep, that's right.
Akeem Mesidor. How do we feel about that roughing the passer on the last drive by Armando Blount?
It was horrendous.
I
mean, what can you say?
I think Texas A&M drew it up. They're like, if you get touched, fall.
It did. In the selling of it, and the flopping, the refs buying it, the clap, the whole.
You got to be able to review roughing the passer. What are we doing?
It was terrible, and they showed it was one of those. They showed the replay once, and the announcers didn't know what to say. They're like, I guess that was the roughing the passer, and then they're like, all right, we'll go on to the next play.
Whatever.
And it was, I think it was going to be 3rd and long, but maybe 4th and long. But I think it was going to be 3rd and long.
Yeah,
3rd and 8 or something.
Yeah,
but it was terrible.
Awful.
It was awful.
All right, tropical depression of the game, in a game that we won.
Yep.
in a huge win. Who still let you down?
Yeah, OJ Frederick.
Yeah.
He just hasn't been great.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is he's been hurt, and we've seen this in the past, guys. I think we've learned that when guys who we know are good players start to struggle and they're coming off of injuries, it's like kind of give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's still injured. Maybe he's rusty. I'm not really sure. Maybe the only time all season I felt like the refs let us off the hook. I think he absolutely should have gotten a personal foul, and that was on 3rd down and would have given A&M a 1st down. They ultimately punted, and that might have even been the Malachi Toney return. Maybe we kicked a field. Anyways, it would have been a major call. And it would have, really, that would have been a 1st down, losing a 3 and out, crossing. They would have crossed midfield. it was really stupid. I don't know. Yeah, I've just been kind of a sophomore slump from him, but like I said, he's been bad. I will give him the benefit of the doubt because of how good he was last year. He's battled injuries, but I'd like to see OJ Frederick play better. We will need him against the best receiving core in the country next week.
Yeah, yep, that is for sure. We'll get into the Ohio State game definitely later this week as we start to unpack that. But yes, we will need our corners against some of the best wide receivers in the country. I'm gonna go, and I hate to do this. It was windy. I know it was windy. The Irish Killer. I love him. And I get it was just brutal conditions, but you are my tropical depression of the week. Here's the thing. The very first kick, he crushed it. It was a beautiful kick. The wind was insane. It was clear that, the wind just shoved that thing right. Not much you can do.
That was a great kick.
It was a great kick. It was then clearly in his head, and the second kick was just a straight up push, like just dead right. One of those ones you hit off the tee and you're just reaching for another ball. Dead right. And then the third kick, what did he make one in between these? Was it the chip shot he made?
Yeah.
And then
actually,
again,
no. I think he started 0 for 3, right?
Did he start 0 for 3?
He doinked the third one?
Yeah. That one, I was like, oh, the wind is so in his head because now he's aiming left on a short kick.
Yes.
He hits it fine, but the wind doesn't touch it because it wasn't that long of a kick, and he just crushed it just straight off the left goalpost. Like, it's such a mental game with kickers, and he was clearly just in his head about the whole thing and was thinking about the wind, I think, way too much because of what it did to that first ball. And it was a game that was coming down to kicks. We knew going into this game, we said special teams was going to play such a huge role in this because Texas A&M really struggles in special teams. And it did. For the most part, Miami had a great night or a great day on special teams.
I'm so sorry. I didn't even mention that Ruben Bain blocked a freaking field goal.
Yeah.
Jeez. Got his big paw up there. That was huge. It was a huge play.
Huge. So I got to give it to the Irish Killer. We need you. In these games, they're going to be close. Field goals are giant. But I think he's going to be fine. We're going to get him indoors in a nice dome with the AstroTurf. He's going to start hitting some field goals again. But
did you see who put their arm around him on the sideline and gave him a chat?
No.
Edgerrin freaking James. Can you imagine being Carter Davis and Edgerrin James puts his arm around you and it's like, dude, he's probably like, dude, don't even, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But
I thought you were going to say Emory Williams. That's good. Yeah. That's good.
Emory would have spooked him further, sent him spiraling. No, it had to be somebody. Kickers, obviously they tend to be mentally fragile, and you just hope that he can flush it because he should.
Yeah.
The first kick was such a good kick. It was I've never seen a ball in midair.
It literally was
watching
like
it live in the living room. I'm like, oh my gosh, did you say to my wife, like, did you see that?
Yeah,
just blew it off the screen.
Yeah.
And
they couldn't even tee these balls up on the
kick.
So.
I know.
Yeah.
But
I think it'll be fine.
He started 1 for 3 because his first field goal was the drive right out of the half.
Right out of the half. Yeah.
But I'm with you. The fourth kick was like. It was 35 yards. It's like, dude, just hit it down the middle.
The wind will not push it. Hit it down the middle. Yeah.
And it doinked, but hey,
all right.
We didn't need him at the end. So that's
we did, yeah. Which again is why I'm like, Malachi Tony scored that. I can't. We said going in, this game cannot come down to a field goal. It just cannot. Okay, honorable mentions because we're leaving some players off here.
Yeah, gotta go with the kid, Bryce Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Are you? I mean,
2 picks, 6 on the year.
6 on the year, bro.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
A true freshman.
True freshman. Just
And he
a
didn't make
ball
any
hawk
lists.
in the truest sense. He's like a bloodhound when the ball
Yeah,
is in the
he
air.
really is.
He's going to find it. Zachariah Poyser went down in the third quarter, and so Bryce ended up getting most of the reps for the final 2 quarters of the game, and he was a monster. He was all over the field. He was absolutely fantastic. He even, I mean, the first interception was a bad pass by Marcel Reed. It kind of sailed on him, but to get into the positions that he gets in to make those plays, and again, even on the second one, late pass behind him, whatever, he to jump in, to be sitting on that like that, like he was, and having his heels on the back of the end zone. I thought he was going to make a play either way. I think he was in position.
Right.
But
in
his
that
ability.
Yeah. But still, in that situation, with the game on the line like that, to make, like, you're going to make it wasn't the best throw, but to have the poise and to make the play to, like, go and intercept that ball, I mean, you can't teach that. That's like, and to have the hands to bring it, it was a great catch. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Did you see my I Have a Dream in the aftermath report? He said after the game, he told his mom the night before the game, he said, I'm gonna have the game winning interception.
Did he? Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't see that. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He said, I told my mom last night,
They're
I'm
just
gonna
doing
have the
some
game-winning
MLK
interception.
thing.
Yeah. It's like, Curt, it's not MLK weekend. What are you doing? Easy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I love this kid, man. He's
Yeah.
Oh, and Poyser's young. This team,
I know.
there's a lot to be excited about here.
There is.
But Mario Chris, listen, give the man his respect. He has hit. This is going to end up being one of the best recruiting classes ever since the Butch Davis one in '99, I guess, when he reloaded the team. Or this is like an all-timer, a Jimmy Johnson, Howard Schnellenberger class. That's
really
like, these guys are just ready to go.
Yeah. I know. And dude, how about Mario Cristobal after the game? I've never seen the guy smile as much as he did. He's in the press conference just smile. You got to go back and watch him. He's just smiling and like he's like raising his eyebrows. People are like asking him all these questions. He's like, yeah, and he's like laughing. I've never seen him. Joe Zagacki sitting at home, just been like, give me a piece of that in the Mario Cristobal show, starring Joe Zagacki and Don Bailey Jr. Just give me a piece of that positivity. Instead, he just gets the stone cold look and the death stare from Mario.
Yeah,
but he was. I mean, his kids were out there. The guy couldn't be happier.
Man. The way he hugged his boys on the field when he sought them out, right before Michael Irvin gave him a sloppy kiss on the cheek.
Mario said that kiss was absolutely disgusting, and there's not enough wipes in the world to get that off of his face. And I think back to when he did the interview earlier this year with Pardon My Take, and he said that it had nothing to do with the U being back or anything like that. He says he doesn't even mention that. He said for him, it was when he was being at Oregon and watching Miami and how Miami was just struggling and how the nation was mocking Miami and the media was kicking them while they were down. He said it pissed him off to his core. And he said that the fact that he had the ability, he's like, well, why would I sit here pissed off, sad about it, and distraught when I can go fix it? And that's what he's here doing. And I mean, that it was, regardless of what happens against Ohio State, he has fixed it. He has brought this team back to national prominence, and this technically, guys, this is a bowl game. I'm counting it. It's postseason. That's our first. We just broke the 8 bowl loss streak. So much is just broken, and we are back at the top.
Yep. I thought,
beautiful.
And I watched a lot of ACC Network after the game and this morning.
Yeah, what was Rhett Lashley doing there?
I watched his interview like 20 times. I'm telling you, I thought I think that's the funniest thing in the world. The networks have started finding these coaches, they do it in all the sports now, where coaches who are eliminated,
right,
will come on.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
Bruce Pearl's was doing that the past couple of years for the basketball. It's like, Auburn lost. What are you doing? I don't want to listen to you.
Rhett Lashley's family's like, Dad, just come home.
Yeah. You've been on the road all year. You're still working. But the dynamic of that is hilarious. Because he was at Miami and even this still
he actually beat us this year.
He beat us this year. Joe, I still haven't heard a response for his petty captain thing. That was like that to me was ridiculous. What like Miami crumpled those guys up and threw them in the trash and said, I don't want to play with you anymore.
We didn't give TVD a chance.
Yeah. I mean, it was just, I thought that, and then to be sitting next to him, and it's like, I don't know, like Rhett's talking, he's talking up Miami, and it's like, Mario's just sitting there like, this SOB, you freaking lost to this guy.
Jimbo's just smiling.
So Jimbo's on the other side. But Mario highlighted once again, to quote him, cutting loose and having fun. Mm-hmm. And we had never heard that. We have not heard that until this season, in particular, until we lost to SMU. And just a testament, again, this is something that we've talked about, but we will continue to say it. Mario has been evolving and learning along the way. Week after week, month after month, year after year, the SMU game, it finally clicked to him that he cannot micromanage this team. He cannot, he can't try to rein in these guys. He needs to let the horses run wild and let these guys go, cut loose and have fun. And that's been his thing. Yes. And that seems to be an intentional decision from the top, from the head man himself, that he said, we need to cut loose and have fun. And we have scored more points. We have played at a high level. We're absolutely flying 1,000 miles an hour, and we've been locked in since then. So really, really just kudos to Mario Cristobal once again, cutting loose and having fun.
My last honorable mention, Mo Touré. Had a great game. He was, making so many plays early on. Yes. He was spying Marcel Reed. He was just making great tackles. And then at the end of the game, on that 2nd and goal, just putting his body on the line. Huge hit. Knocks what would have been the game-tying touchdown. Knocks the ball loose and ends up getting knocked out of the game. And then when the game was over, was celebrating with Bryce Fitzgerald I believe the guy had an ACC patch, but it's wherever the concussion medical guy is then picking up and carrying him off the field because he's not supposed to be on the field celebrating with anybody because he is definitely 100% concussed.
Yeah. I thought they were going to have to shoot him with a trank gun. They're like, they couldn't. The guy kept trying. He had to chase him all the way into the end zone.
I know. Oh, man. Dude, that was that last interception. Because at that point, who cares if you get a personal foul and celebrating? Our entire team was in the end zone. There was coaching staffs I'd never seen just taunting the A&M fans.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yep.
How about
just the thing about the Mo Touré hit is that's like a body on the line, head on the line, don't care.
Yeah.
But to not get targeting there, they didn't even have to review it.
No. Yeah.
Because
as much
it was
as
a
David
clean
Pollack
hit.
wanted it reviewed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gosh.
It was a clean hit.
Yep.
Just bang bang play, and that's the season. Saves the season.
And again, this, when we're talking about transfers, getting the right guys in, this is a guy that, we just have a team that just wants to win football games. It's a beautiful, you don't see that across the country with some of these players. And all of our transfers just seem to be fully bought in to what this team is doing, fully bought into being a Cane. And it's awesome. And it speaks volumes to the guys, the OGs, the guys that committed right after the Middle Tennessee State game. The guys that built this thing, starting with, you got to start with Mr. Reuben Bain.
Yep. Wesley Bissainthe, I thought, was a great leader. I saw him talking it up the whole game to everybody. Yeah. A guy who I just have the utmost respect for because of the way that he transformed. He came in as an undersized linebacker, a guy who was fast, local guy. I think he went to Central, and just another guy who stuck it out through the muck and the mud. We stunk, and he's hung tough with us the whole way, and he's gotten better every year, and he's become a really good player. So, shout out to Wesley Bissainthe.
Yes, sir. Okay. This isn't the last we're going to talk of this game. Miami Hurricanes fans, we're going to be talking about this game for many, no matter what. And I don't want to. I didn't see this tweet until I was looking through some of our likes. I'm going to save this tweet because it might be my best of X, but it might be yours, Curt. I saw someone liked it. I don't know who's going to share it, but no matter what, we have memories now of postseason football, of big time wins that we can just cherish for a long time. So I'll find. Right after the game, I bought a playoff shirt. I didn't get the Cotton Bowl shirt yet. We'll see how that goes. But I bought the home field 2026 playoff shirt.
Yep. Okay. Listen, I'll do. Listen,
you do it.
I'll tell you what. I'll
Curt,
retire the Pop-Tart.
Yes. Time to get a playoff shirt. Let's go.
Oh man. Yeah.
But now you can wear that Pop-Tart shirt even more fondly because it's just a joke now.
That's right. Stepping stone. It was a stepping stone bowl game. It's fine. But like the monkey, like when you talk about the monkey on the back thing, like for a program and for a coach, who again, we're talking about a guy who's Rose Bowl champion, Pac-12 champion. He's a phenomenal coach, but just to get the monkey off the back, like you're saying, Joe, win or lose, it's like going into next season with what we've done already this year. Going into next season, I mean, we lose this game and it's like we're gonna open the season. Where does the hype train go? I mean, we're gonna open the season in the top 10, maybe the top 5,
right?
Depending
coming
on
off of playing the defending
position,
national champs.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we will for a second put this to bed. We will look ahead to Ohio State again later this week. We will be dropping. Actually, we might just do it because we don't play until New Year's Eve now. So this might be Sunday. Next Sunday we'll record the Ohio State prep show. So real deep dive into the Buckeyes. But real quick, kind of first reaction now that this matchup is set. Eye of the Hurricane against Ohio State. I saw the line opened up. I think it opened at like 9.5. It jumped to 10, then it's now like down to 8.5. I don't know. There's been a lot of action on this line so far, but it's Buckeyes by at least a touchdown. Initial thoughts, Eye of the Hurricane for a matchup that, oh boy, I am excited to dive into as we get through this week because you could not script it any better.
Nope. It's got all the feels. It's got all the emotions. Yeah. It brings the old school college football, type of thing back into this new age. And I'm excited. I feel not a single thing from the A&M game brings me into this week like, I don't know, not a single thing. I think that game reinforced how dominant and elite we are at the line of scrimmage. Okay. Yeah. How awesome this defense is, this coaching staff, how they can game plan and scheme it up. That the aggressiveness, again, it's like strange to say, but like, because we scored 10 points, but the aggressiveness on the offensive side of the ball, I don't think it didn't stop. We didn't stop being aggressive.
Yeah.
And I've been happy with that. And so how can you not feel like Miami has a chance against anyone in the country? When you're that good at the line of scrimmage, we're going to travel anywhere. So again, not to be like a spoiler, but like I just couldn't help it, and I can't contain myself now. I jumped all over Miami. How can you? What glaring hole are you? If a team is going to get dominated by 9, 10 double digits, it's like there's got to be a glaring weakness. I don't see one on this.
When's the last time
team.
we've lost by double digits?
That's a good point. I mean, we haven't lost by more than one score since Pittsburgh in 2023.
Yeah, I think
that's the stat,
the
right?
Finale. Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, I don't know. I'm really confident, and I'm really surprised by this. To be honest, I think we're going to travel.
Shocked by the number. I knew Ohio State would be favored, but I could not believe it was by more than a touchdown. To be honest with you,
I had heard 5 or 5.5.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I'm with you. I feel the Texas A&M game 100% reinforced that we can play with anybody, that we belong, and I think we have the best trenches in the country. There's definitely, I think Ohio State is. I think Ohio State's also a hard one because of, you look at their schedule. It's kind of similar to Texas A&M. It's like, well, who have you beaten? Like, who have you played? But I think they are better than Texas A&M. They have an unbelievable defense. I worry the most, I think, about their wide receivers against our corners. But again, it's like against Texas A&M, they've got weapons too, and we shut them down. They had a couple big plays, but for the most part, we really just locked them down. So I'm like, every time I get scared of something, Ohio State, like you said, I think back to this Texas A&M game. It's like, well, we cured that. I do think it's going to be. I think we're going to have to just score. We're obviously going to have to score more than 10 points to beat Ohio State. So it's going to be. Yeah. I feel like I've said this every week. My eye of the hurricane, though. This is Carson Beck's game. I think he's going to we're going to kind of have to let him loose a little bit. He's going to have to make some big time throws. We just didn't do much down the field against Texas A&M, but the few times that we did kind of hit things over the middle, they were there. Yeah. Even the Malachi Toney fumble, that completed pass, it was there. That drive coming out of the third quarter, we were hitting C.J. Daniels, we were hitting Marion. Like, if we can get Beck in a rhythm and let him throw the ball, I think we're going to be able to score some points on Ohio State, but they have a very good defense. We're just going to have to – it's going to be another defensive battle in this game, but we got to score more than 10 points. Yeah. I think Ohio State's going to really try to stop the run after seeing what Mark Fletcher just did. It's going to be Beck. What can Beck and this receiving group do, I think, is what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, we are going to have to score points, but this total opened up at 42.5, and it's getting bet down to like 40 already.
Yeah.
It's going to be two elite defenses again.
Yep.
And again, I think it's awesome. It's going to be another slugfest, and I just know that Mario's like licking his chops, and the team is just going to be locked in on this.
Yeah.
I think, I think it's worth pointing out, like, Ohio State obviously has the best receiving core in the country. I mean, they probably have the best two receivers in the country in Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate. Mm-hmm. But A&M probably has this genuinely. They might have the second best. I mean, those guys, Concepcion and Craver, those guys are awesome, man. I mean,
boy, did we put Concepcion.
We had him clamped. Concepcion could do nothing,
and we crushed him on that punt return.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. So I mean, we're gonna need Damari Brown back, and OJ Frederick has got to play better. But I think the story is like when you have the safety help that we have over the top and preventing those big plays, the broken plays from happening. We had one against A&M, but it hasn't happened in a long time. You know who I was impressed with? Ethan O'Connor. I thought he had a really good game. Kind of like
that's a good call.
Really like an emotional leader too, and making tackles on the outside.
Yeah,
he was solid. So
he was.
We're just going to need to continue to be physical, but whatever Corey Heatherman's doing, the guys are prepared, and the safeties, the tackling is so solid that I mean, but ultimately I'll just get to it, and my eye of the hurricane is going to be the Bash brothers. It's Mesidor and Bain Indiana sacked Ohio State 5 times in the Big Ten championship. They had only been sacked 6 times all season going into that game. And that was the key. That was, dude, Indiana dominated Ohio State at the line of scrimmage in that game.
They did.
I mean, I'm having a hard time understanding why I shouldn't feel
Ohio State scored 10
so
points.
good about this game. They scored 10. They couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's limit the big plays.
14 against Texas earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Like, against these more physical defenses.
If you get after saying he's accurate, but he's a product, he's a new age quarterback. Okay. He lives off of his coach being in his ear in the headset, telling him where to throw the ball. He's accurate. Exactly. He's accurate. He makes throws on time. You know, but this just, if you get after him and you rattle him a little bit, that's the key. I mean, they got that freshman running back, Bo Jackson, is a good player. It's Ohio State. We know they've got talent. Yeah. But Indiana was able to get into them and throw them off their game. And that's what I think Miami is going to do as well.
Oh, boy, I cannot wait. Like we said, we will be getting into this game this week. Follow us on X as we will just be posting throughout the week our thoughts. And then, like I said, we'll be dropping that prep show this time next week for us to get ready for that New Year's Eve matchup. 7:30, the Cotton Bowl, everybody. We're in the Cotton Bowl against Ohio State, New Year's Eve. Can you believe it?
Redemption.
All right, man. Oh, gosh, it's going to be a great week. All right, let's get into Lock of the Week. Let's close with Lock of the Week and Best of X. Once again, Jimmy, you know what? I think this is now 2 in a row Jimmy hasn't been here for the main show Lock of the Week. Is he bowing out of the Lock of the Week? He hasn't given us his picks. I think he's out.
That's
so
right.
Curt wins with his Miami plus 3.5. We got that, obviously. Curt moves to 7-8. I lose Oklahoma plus 1.5. That was looking great early. And just absolutely blew it. It was disgusting. So I moved to 10-5. Curt 7-8. I'm 10-5. I'm going to give Jimmy 2 losses. Jimmy's 8-8.
Yeah.
So, or no, 8-7. 8-7. But he's not doing a pick this week, so he's 8-8 automatically. Okay, Curt, what do we have this week? Your Lock of the Week. Get to 500 on the year if you get this one.
Yeah. I've been building up to it. I'm rolling with the Canes here again.
Here we go.
I love this. If I see 10.5 again, I will bet it again. I took it at 9.5. I will take it at 9. I've got Miami money line. No, I mean, really, I really am surprised by this. I think this Canes team is so strong top to bottom, and I think the line of scrimmage that's where these games are won this time of year. Being able to lean on your opponent, protect your quarterback, get after the opposing quarterback. That's what these games come down to. And I think Miami does that better than anyone in the country. This is, you talk about Miami, it's not, we got to get the ball to Jeremiah Smith. It's like, this is a total team, ground and pound, professional, deep, it's just mauler type of team. And I just think that travels everywhere. And so, listen, whether we do win or lose, I double digits. I mean, give me that all day long. So I like the Canes here.
I love it. I am going to go with, and this is one of those picks. It's like, I don't know if you ever played the old NASCAR video games, and when you started losing in the race, you just stop the car, you turn it around, and you drive straight into traffic to try to ruin it for everyone else. Bama really screwed me last week, so I'm going Indiana minus 6.5 this week. I'm just betting against Bama. I hate Bama. This is a hate bet. I think they stink. They shouldn't be here. Oklahoma was up 17-0. I hope Indiana blows them out. Give me Indiana minus 6.5. And that is my lock of the week. Jimmy has no pick. Jimmy moves to 8-8 on the year. What a shame. What a shame. Okay, best of X. Jimmy did give us a best of X, so I will lead with his. Jimmy's best of X, as I pull it up, is, yes. It is a tweet from, make sure I can say this name, Diggin Brigham, at Diggin Brigham. Okay, and it says Texas A&M will be more prepared next year, and the picture is the Texas A&M player with just what seems to be 1,000 of those mouthpieces hanging from his face mask. Yeah, it's. I was watching when Lindsay was watching the game, she was just so confused about the mouthpiece, the opposing team's color mouthpiece.
Too.
And
like, what is that guy doing?
And I had no reasonable explanation. I said, you know what? I don't know why they do it.
How about the announcers? They kept thinking that there was a flag. They're like, flag on the play.
And the guy's just getting knocked out, concussed, or flag, just this orange mouthpiece on the ground. But yeah, very funny tweet. It does look, when you're losing, it looks so ridiculous.
Yeah. You remember who started that? Keon Coleman against
that's right.
Miami.
Against Miami. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. Curt, you got a best of X?
I do. I'm going with good old this guy's at is Navy Vet 4ND. So, thank you for your service, sir.
Yeah,
I'll get that out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But you're a complete moron.
Thank you for your service,
though.
though.
Thank you for your service. Respect. He says, ESPN is going to claim this is an instant classic, while everyone else sees it for the dog show it really is. It's time for the Notre Dame people to pipe down. It's a shame. They shouldn't be taking it out on us. They should have beef with the ACC. They should have beef with the CFP committee, beef with Alabama, beef with Tulane, beef with JMU. There's no reason for them to have beef with Miami. But if they want to have beef, we'll give them some beef. Okay. Jeremiah Love. Okay. We shoved him into a locker once. We had to do it twice. We dominated Notre Dame on the field. Texas A&M beat Notre Dame on their home field. I don't know how they feel like they have a leg to stand on when it comes to the Miami Notre Dame thing. It's like that game, sit on your hands, cry, but just watch it and it's like enough. Enough. There shouldn't be any talk coming from them on that game. They can have beef with other things.
Right.
Again, other teams, the committees, but there's no reason for them to be whining about Miami and Texas A&M.
Yeah, literally, you had the chance to beat them on the field. That's crazy.
Dog show. It was a freaking elite defensive battle.
So, dog shows are phenomenal. Do you ever watch the dog show? There's some of the most entertaining things ever.
I haven't. Not even on
Thanksgiving, after the Macy's Day Parade, they play the dog show, and it's very enjoyable.
Super Bowl Sunday was the only one that I've
highly. Oh yeah, the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah. The Puppy Bowl.
No, totally different. Puppy Bowl sucks. There's no rules. It makes no sense. It's chaos. My best of X is from Vic Damone Jr. at the greatest 33. He says, growing up and listening to the Kane stories from the old man, now I have my own moment I'll be able to talk about when I'm 80. Still surreal that I was there. The game-sealing interception was right in front of me. And it's like, I think, Curt, you and I can both attest to this. We are lucky enough to have dads that grew up and were just giant Canes fans, and they've got some of the best stories, the best memories. We grew up watching the highlights. We grew up getting to hear about how great Miami was in the 80s, in the late 90s, early 2000s, and now we get our moment to be able to say to our kids one day, like, man, back in 2025, they had Texas A&M. They had the most wins in the SEC. At one point, people thought they were the best team in the country. We went at Texas A&M first round of the playoffs, and we beat them to go play Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. Now we have a story. We've got a moment. It's a beautiful thing.
I remember the first house I lived in where I grew up in Winter Park, wide left, my dad, I was hiding behind the couch, couldn't watch. Wide left, my dad runs out the front door. We lived in a cul-de-sac. Runs out the front door and woo, like doing the Ric Flair, woo, out in the driveway to the whole neighborhood, the whole cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And that's a memory. I remember that to this day, and I think about it, when I'm watching the Canes play, and my daughter is too young to be able to capture this memory, but I've got some pictures on my phone, and I'll have it, and it's something that we'll be able to talk about. And my dad called me right after the game, and my brother jumped on the FaceTime.
My dad called me right after.
We went outside to to my back patio, and it was cool. So I completely agree.
Special moments, special memories. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, that's our best of X. That is our show. A nice, cool hour, 20 minutes of pure bliss. But Victory Monday. Enjoy it. The team gets 24 hours. We get 48 hours. But it is back to work. We got Ohio State. It is. We're enjoying every second of this. But at the end of the day, we have a team that the history is well noted. We hate them. They hate us. Not one of my not so favorite fan bases over there. I'm already seeing the posts and the message boards. I do have some people I like that are Ohio State fans. There are some of them, but
my grandma.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, grandma. Next week, grandma. And so you got a chance to win that game. Oh boy, and you're getting close to the big dance, but.
Can you believe it? We get Ohio State on New Year's Eve, man. This is. I was texting your dad about it earlier.
Be flowing.
Yeah, I mean, it's isn't it unbelievable the people that still think that was a justified pass interference call?
Yeah, they'll talk about calls from earlier in the game, like, well, they meant that doesn't matter when it was this call, this play.
Yeah.
It was insane.
That was the game. That was literally the difference. But yeah, it's like it's random. I don't know that there's maybe there is, and I'm not thinking about it. But another rivalry in college football that feels like Miami Ohio State. That like if you were dropped in, in 2000, if you were born in 2012, and you're like, why? Like what?
Yeah, like
that doesn't make sense. These teams,
have they ever played each other?
When we played at Ohio State, or did we do a home and home? I don't know.
Yeah.
We got crushed, so it sucked. But we played at Ohio
Golden
State.
Got a win though against
Ja'Cory Harris.
We beat them once since we've played them.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
I've scrubbed that one apparently because I just remember Ja'Cory Harris in the horseshoe throwing interceptions.
Yeah. No, I remember that game very well.
But it's cool. It's like it's a rivalry that's like intense but it's kind of random. It's just got this history.
Right. And now you're playing at the biggest stage.
Yeah.
Let me real quick, because I don't want to log off until we figure that out. What year was that? We did beat them. It was one of their down years. I think it was Al Golden was like his biggest win of his career at Miami. Here we go. 2011, Miami wins 24-6. That's the last time we played them.
That's a great win.
So actually we have gotten redemption against them now. But it was a nice win. We beat them pretty soundly. I'm pretty sure Ohio State was bad that year. Ohio State 2011 record. They finished. They finished 6-7. 6-7. Yeah, so they stunk. All right.
Still counts when you kick them when they're down.
Oh, it counts. Yeah, we beat them. But nothing like what we're about to experience. New Year's Eve, 7:30. We've got lots for you the rest of the week. Some more episodes dropping. Please follow us on X. Listen to us anywhere you listen to your podcast. Watch us on YouTube. Jimmy dropped a hype video last week. Go give that a look. It got some nice love on X, so give it a look. And, let's keep this thing going, huh? Let's keep it going. Come on. Go Canes, everyone. Have a great week, and we will talk to you soon.